What's up, everybody? This is Fidel of Talking Again podcast, and this week we are showcasing Vanessa Bejarano, known to many as Chef and Queen. Vanessa always knew she wanted to serve her community as her grandmother did years ago. She discovered her talents as she cooked many meals after some fun nights with her family, to now creating amazing meals for her community and many celebrities. With her meal preps and juicing, she has tapped into a new venture of owning her own business. Her story has just begun and has already accomplished so much. Tune in to learn all about what inspires this woman. So get ready and let's tap into it.
When are you gonna start talking again? Talking again.
What's up, everybody? This is Fidel of Talking Again podcast. We're here on another edition of the show, and my guest this week is Vanessa Bejarano.
Yes, you said it right.
I did, right? Yeah.
Not too many people can say it right.
Do people butcher it?
Yeah, they do.
What do they say, Bejarano?
Yeah, Bejarano or Benjamin, and I don't know where they get the Benjamin from.
Well, I guess they
That's
just
way off.
They look at it once and they say Benjamin.
Yeah,
but no, it's Bejarano. So if you guys are wondering.
Yeah. So I'm not related to Benjamin Franklin. At least not that I know of.
Have they? Are you? Have they asked you that?
So far, not yet.
Okay, geez.
I'm waiting for that.
It'll come up. I'm sure it will. You get someone high enough, it'll come up.
Definitely.
But you guys all know her as Chef and Queen.
Yes.
That's the amazing Chef and Queen.
Yes, amazing.
The chef of the celebrities, the influencers. You seriously
soon to be worldwide.
Like, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You have to dream big.
Oh yeah, definitely.
When did you start dreaming big?
I believe I've always dreamed big, but I think when I became a chef, I found my purpose. And that changed everything. Like, that completely changed my world, because it's like a chef is on a whole nother level. You can be creative, artistic. You can catch somebody's emotions in a totally different way.
Yeah. Have you witnessed that before? Like when you catch someone's emotions where they're just like dumbfounded to what they've just tasted, or they're like, are you serious?
Yeah, many. Yeah? Like, it's man, I can't even. I lost count of how many people.
Try to describe that feeling that you get when you
from
see
it.
that.
It kind of, even though I know, like, when I create something, it comes from my heart, and as you're creating it, I believe, like, your feelings manifest what your work, what you're putting into your work. Mm-hmm. And it's like, when you actually see it, you feel it as you're doing it. But then, like, when you get the reaction of it actually happening afterwards, it's like, wow, like you're in shock. Yeah. Yeah. Just as a person that's, looking at what you created at that moment. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you, I get so many offers like, oh, hey, are you married? Like, I want to marry you. Cause like,
really?
You can cook. Yeah.
Are you married?
No, I'm not.
Guys,
looking around.
Let's go. Come on.
Looking for a chef and queen.
What's going on?
Chef and king.
Yeah. You're looking for a king.
Looking for a king to this queen.
You know what? That's a good name of an episode or a show.
Yes.
Chef and Queen looking for a king.
Definitely.
Oh my God. We just started something.
Yes.
Wow, that's amazing. No. But it really is amazing, to be able to create something like that. Like, when you create a dish or whatever new dish that you have. Yes. When you taste it yourself. Yeah. Do you know it's amazing, or do you wait for someone else to tell you it's amazing?
Well, as I'm making it, of course I have to taste it before I, put it out there. And it's like, once I get the flavors in and I taste it, and if it's good enough for me, then it's good enough to be put out. But, being a chef, like, all chefs are perfectionists. Most chefs. Yeah. Most dedicated chefs. Yeah. Like, we're all perfectionists, and, it'll be good, but it's never good enough.
Yeah.
But I usually get it to like, okay, if I taste this and it makes me smack my lips and it does something to my soul where I feel happy, then I know it's good. Like, and I'll tell you, there's times that, when I'm cooking and I'm just not in the mood or I'm not happy, I will not cook at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But so far, I don't think anybody has caught me in a bad mood. So.
Does that, because, okay, all right. So to play off of that, I know when there's times when I'll try like someone's salsa or whatever and it's really hot and spicy.
Yeah.
And I always, because of habit, I always say, God, ¿estabas enojado? Like, were you mad when you made this? Because it was so freaking spicy.
Yeah.
That's true though, right? Like,
yeah,
whatever
really
emotion you have,
true.
like, you're going to put into your dish, right?
Yeah, that person's going to, like, get the emotion of how you felt while you were making it.
Well, that's also with the same thing. Like, you used to have a store, a restaurant or a store with that a seasoning with amor.
Yeah. So I had it was also a meal prep.
Oh, meal prep.
But before that, I did open a bistro with a chef, like my chef instructor.
Yeah.
So like learning from her and learning how to manage and doing my own thing, which helped me like branch off and create myself. But I mean, just the stuff I made, like I think I had a team where it was like appetizers, entree, and dessert. So I was in charge of that whole group. And it's not easy to manage so many different people. And it's like each of them have different tasks. And it's like you have to taste every single thing. So, in the beginning, it was like I was on desserts. And I don't know, for some reason, like I never considered myself a pastry chef. But when it came to pastries, when it had to do with sweets, I always nailed it.
I love how you say that with confidence.
Yes.
I just nailed it.
Yeah.
That's good though.
Yeah. And I remember this customer come in, and every time he would come in, he was like, wow, who made this dish?
Yeah.
And it was always me because I created the menu. And they're like, oh, let me see this. The waitress would go to the back and she's like, oh, chef, who made this? Yeah. And she knew it was me. And I was like, who's asking? And she's like, oh, the guy in the corner. I'm like, is he cute? That was my first reaction. And I was like, who is it? And we had a window where people can actually see us cook. So I would be way in the back where they can't see me in the prep area. Yeah. So I would peek out and I would see, and she's like, oh, it's that bald guy in the back. And I'm like, oh, tell him Jerry made it. It was always telling Jerry made it.
Jerry did it, not me.
Yeah. So we would always send Jerry out and say, oh, yeah, I made it. But it was never him. It was always me.
I'm telling you, this episode's going to be full of exclusives. Okay?
Yes.
We can tell him Jerry made it.
Yeah. Shout outs to Jerry.
I think I've had on some chefs on here before, right? I was talking to you about Driscoll Kid, and I was telling him how much fun sometimes it seems as that they're having in the kitchen, or even when they close after an event or they close after hours. Yes. And I've always wanted to be that fly in the wall of what all the cooks and the chefs are talking about. When I can imagine this. Yes. You guys all sitting on box carts and drinking out of those big old, whatever you call them, those plastic containers, whatever. Yeah. Drinking like wine or beer out of those things and just talking shit.
Yeah. That's pretty much.
Is that what happens?
Yeah.
Man, I would love to be a fly in the wall.
That's exactly. Yeah. The conversations that go on in the back. Yeah. If you go to a restaurant and everybody's quiet, that's just for like whoever sees them. Yeah. But if you go in the back where everyone's prepping, oh my God, it's a whole nother story. Yeah. Everyone's talking smack.
All while you guys are like being functional.
Yeah.
Right?
But we're making fun, like making jokes, because, you got to cheer everybody up. Like, it's hard work, and it's like, it's either you be happy or you be angry. Yeah. And you don't want an angry chef. So no. you'll get that energy.
You'll get that bad energy in your food.
All of a sudden you're going to a date with your date and your date's mad, angry out of nowhere, and you're like, what's going on? Oh, your chef.
That energy is transferable.
Yes. Yeah. I remember when I was at the resort, and I would always choose to do brunch the next day, even though like I would be there Saturdays doing wedding events. but they always chose me like, oh, chef's always happy when she comes in.
Yeah.
So we're going to have her on brunch. So I'd be there 5 a.m. doing brunch, cooking omelets. And I think one time, like, Shaquille O'Neal came with his wife. Oh, no, Magic. It was Magic with his wife, Cookie. And I didn't expect that. And I was kind of like hungover for the night. But I'm still making omelets. Yeah. And he came and he's like, oh, can you make my egg? And I was so nervous. I was just like, wow, like I have to make his egg. And I'm looking up at him like, oh my God, please don't mess up his egg.
Would you ask him, how do you take your eggs?
Yeah. So he's like, oh, I'll take them over easy. I was like, okay. Yeah. So I was like, please don't burn them. and then thank God, like he was standing there watching me as I'm cooking them. But thank God, like a kid came and was like, oh, can I get your autograph? No. So I was like, okay, cool. Let me hurry up and make these returns. But I guess I did him good because he came back for more.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
But that's probably like the only time I was ever really nervous, like cooking. But he's like, I was so nervous that like I was just laughing. He's like, I'm going to come back. He's like, you know why I came back? Because you're smiling. He's like, I want my food cooked by you all the time. I was like, great.
Yeah. But you know what? That your smile really is infectious, like infectious, right? It's like I see and I'm like, you're having so much fun. It never looks like you're like pissed off.
Yeah,
like,
never.
I don't want to be here. It's always like your energy is so great. I think that's what like it just. You attract people to you. I don't know. It's good energy.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Should always have good energy.
Yeah. I think cooking for Magic Johnson is probably like full circle now. Yeah. That's your first celebrity that I don't know if that's the first celebrity you cook for, but
yeah.
We'll just say it is. And now full circle, you're doing like you're cooking for Cece, right? Brianna. I know that you've done some stuff for Ms. Lala.
Yeah.
I mean, the list goes on and on, right?
Yeah, nonstop.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
So many. And it's, and thank God, like, I'm like, in the back of my mind, even though I'm smiling, I'm just like, the first time I make food for them, it's like I'm like terrified because I'm like, my God, what if they don't like it? Or what if they lie and say they like it? Yeah. I'll know if they call me back. Yeah. So I'm just like telling myself, if they call me back, then I know I did a good job.
Yeah.
And they always call me back. Like, they're like, oh my God. But they'll tell me on the spot.
Oh, right away.
Yeah. They're like, oh my God. Like, I'm in it. I need you like for my event.
I need you full time.
Yeah, definitely.
What do you get? But when you're cooking for like that, do you get nervous or do you get anxious? I know there's a difference between those two. Do you get nervous or anxious? Anxious meaning like, I can't wait to do this. Like, it's a little almost nervous, but I just can't wait to do it, just to get it out there, just to get it over with and get it done with, and just or the nervous was like, I don't want to muck it up, Yeah. Which one's more for you?
I think maybe the anxious.
The anxious part.
Like, I can't wait for it to be over. Even though like I'm excited to make it, but it's like, okay, let's get it over with at least. Yeah.
Okay. You want to see the reaction, right?
Yeah.
I know we grazed over all of like, how did you get started into this, right? Like cooking for you. When I asked you like, what was it, when did you get started? How did you do it? What was it when you were a little girl? Like when you were a kid, did you always want to cook, or is this something that just came to you later in life?
You know what? Cooking, I guess, has always been a big thing in my family. We never really did too much. Like, it was always like family barbecues. Everything resolved around food. Mm-hmm. I think I got it more from my grandparents and mainly my grandmother. Even though I had my parents, I was always around my grandmother. She was a nurse, and her and my grandpa were always she was more of an activist. So she was always feeding people in the community after work. Like, she would feed people from the hospitals. Yeah. But then afterwards, like on the weekends, she would go, and she had a group of women that, like, from her work, they would go and feed the community. And Thanksgiving for us was like, we invited whoever was on the street. Didn't matter who it was, like, they were invited. Wow. She never allowed anybody to go without like eating on the holidays. Yeah. Yeah. So I think it was always there until like I never realized I wanted to be a chef until maybe about like 2010 maybe. And I was gonna go back to school, and I go, well, maybe I should be a nurse. Like my grandma was a nurse.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be cool, or something in that field. And my cousin was actually like my roommate, and we party, and it is, everyone like either goes to Jack, but instead of going to Jack, like we would all come home and be 5 a.m. and they're like, make me food. So I was like probably drunk, but I was still making food, and it was good.
Yeah. Back then you were the queen of the leftovers, like making things just from the fridge. I can never do that.
Yeah, they were like asking me outrageous stuff like, oh, can you make arroz con leche? Can you make this? I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Like some real authentic stuff.
Yeah. Good thing you had the rice, the milk, the cinnamon, right? Imagine if you didn't have anything.
Yeah,
you have to improvise.
Definitely. So that was always there. And then when I went to meet up with the counselor, she was actually a family friend of ours. My mom was like working with the college, and she was really close with my family. So she's like, you know what? Why do you want to be a nurse? I think you should have you ever looked into the culinary? And I was like, no, I haven't. Like, that never crossed my mind. She's like, you should look into it, because you're always bringing me food you made.
Oh, really? Did you?
I would always like share food. I'm like, I made this. You got to try it. Yeah. And with everyone, I'm like, I don't know. It was just like something that was always there, but I never noticed it.
Yeah.
So then I started looking into it, and I'm like, wow, this is really cool. Like, I should get into this. And it was just like something that I started getting into, and I'm like, wow, food is not just cooking food. Like, food is more to it. Like, there's science, there's like health, like, you can address certain health issues that can help benefit, because 80% has to do with our diet, and our diet has to do with whatever we feed our body, whatever minerals, vitamins, and stuff like that we feed ourselves. It allows our body to heal. So I'm like, okay, this is something I can get into. And I think what fascinated me more was the knowledge, like being able to know like food is more than that. Like, there's more to it.
Yeah. Going off of what you said, I think knowing the why, right? Or like the why, how you do this, not just like my mom's always done it this way, or my grandma's always done it this way.
Yeah.
But like knowing why you do it that way is probably like the kicker, right? The payoff.
Yeah. And it's interesting, because you always thought like, oh, somebody gives you the recipe, like it should be the same.
Yeah.
But no, it's not, because say we make the same recipe, you don't have the same measurement of hands as I do. Like, you know how like grandmothers are
they
like,
say like un puñito or whatever. Yeah.
And then you put the same, like she's saying, and it's not, because her hands are bigger than yours, or your hands are bigger than hers.
Yeah.
And it's like, why did mine's come out salty? And it's like, because we're not the same.
Yeah. The one that always gets me when I read those is like una cucharadita.
Yeah.
And I go, well, this one's huge. This one's small, but then this one's even smaller.
Yeah.
So I don't know which one. And then there's this huge giant one over here. Like, so but do you know like the difference, or I should say the literal translation of like a teaspoon and a tablespoon in Spanish?
Yeah. So actually, as a chef, we know like, teaspoon is like your fingertip. A tablespoon is like all that, like your whole pinky.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
But like see, my pinky might be a bit different than yours, right?
Yeah, right?
Well,
let's see.
A little bit different.
A little bit, yeah. Yours is bigger.
Yeah. Not that much bigger. I got small hands. So if everyone's wondering, like, these are my real hands and they are small.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
But as far as like the literal translation, like how would you just translate a teaspoon or tablespoon in Spanish? Like, ¿cómo se dice en español? Do you know? Is it cucharadita?
Yeah,
like,
it is.
Is it? It is,
yeah,
right? Okay.
it is.
So una cuchara would be a tablespoon. Cucharadita is a teaspoon.
Yes.
All right. So then I thought that was, and I think someone explained to me, and that's why I knew. But at first, when I read it, I just thought it was a cucharita as a spoon.
Yeah.
Like
like
my
a
cereal
whole
spoon.
yeah.
Or a serving spoon,
You're like, this looks about right.
Yeah. Well,
But the good thing about like cooking, like you can adjust it.
Yeah.
So there are science to that. Like say, like you're saying, like cucharito or whatever, and it's like you put that whole thing and it's too salty,
right.
you can just throw in a potato and it'll balance it out because the potato absorbs the salt.
Oh yeah.
So you can easily fix it.
So don't serve the potato. It'll act as a source of absorbance.
Yeah, it'll absorb all that salt.
Interesting.
So if you ever make a mistake in a soup or something, just throw that.
Throw some salt. Throw a potato.
Throw
in
a potato in there. It'll suck it up like
Yeah.
a sponge.
You did say something interesting once in one of your videos. I don't know which video it was, but I did hear you say that you don't really cook too much with salt. Like you don't throw salt seasoning on it. You use like natural salt as like you would like in a caper or something that's full of sodium.
Yeah, capers have a lot of intake in salt. So even soy sauce.
Right.
So let's say you do a low sodium, it's the same as using low sodium salt.
Yeah.
You can replace that and place the salt. You don't want to add salt and then add soy sauce. Your stuff's gonna be really salty.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, there's other sources and like herbs, spices, vegetables. Celery has salt intake too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so you just dehydrate that, and you can use it as like a spice. It'll look like a spice or herb, but it's actually has salt to it, and it's a more healthier alternative.
That's what I was gonna say. It's a lot healthier probably too.
Definitely.
My mom, when I was about like when I was a teenager, I think it was because of my dad's health. She stopped cooking with salt, like a lot of salt. Like she maybe add a little bit or do that where she would add a lot of other vegetables and stuff that would have the salt.
Yeah.
Or spices that have the salt. So I grew up without like that palate of salty food.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I like at our dinner table until I got married, there was never salt in our table. And my wife, she loves everything with salt, like lemon, whatever food she's eating, she also put not like excessive amount, but she would put salt on everything, until she learned that I didn't like it, I wasn't into it, so she stopped cooking with that much salt. So we don't cook with, so we don't have much what it is like sugar, like white sugars. We don't really have that at the house.
Yeah,
we do if she's gonna bake something or whatever, and then the salt we have it, but we hardly use it. I think we use it more on like when I'm making a michelada or something like that. I use more salt than anything. But it's funny though, like the salt, how much of a difference it makes,
Yeah, and you can like really, you really taste it.
Yeah.
And then, but the one thing about cooking is you're able to adjust it. But when it comes to baking, you're not able to do that.
Yeah, it's
like you mess up, that's it. Throw it away, and you got to start all over again.
You can't repair anything like that, huh?
No way.
That's why baking is so difficult.
Yeah, it's really science to the T. You better have your measurements right.
And you're good at your pastries, huh?
Yeah, it's so weird. Like I always thought like, oh, I'm a chef. That's it.
Yeah.
But I have that under my belt as baker as well, and it's like something I didn't think I would get. I wouldn't be accustomed to, but it actually like just kind of stuck to me.
Right.
Yeah.
Run with it, right?
Yeah, because there's this thing when it comes to chefs, like chefs think they're better than bakers because they say bakers, like chefs are all about fire and knives, and bakers are like soft and delicate and take their time.
Can you say that one more time? That chefs are what?
Chefs are all about fire and knives.
No, you said chefs are better than bakers?
Yeah. Yeah.
I know. I thought that's what I heard, but I'm like, wait a second. Chefs are better than bakers.
Yes.
I think that's going to be the name of this podcast.
Yeah.
This episode is going to be that.
I had a nickname like in the kitchen too.
Did you?
Yeah.
What was your nickname?
They used to call me the Beast.
The Beast?
Yeah.
Why would they call you the Beast?
Because I was always like handling meat. Like I would just slap it on and cook it like it was nothing. They're like, oh. We just seen you baking, and all of a sudden like you transitioned, and they're like, yeah. So it was actually me and another chef buddy of mine, and at that time I was executive chef at the army base in Los Alamitos. And they would bring in the meat, so we would always mess around. It was like we were after hours. Yeah. Once everybody left, there was only a few of us, and we were prepping for the next day. So we were like, we're like, okay, we're gonna work out because we were working out with the guys at the army base. And then I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna get boxing too. So we started beating up the meat in the refrigerator like Rocky.
Like Rocky?
Yeah. We're like, and one of the preps was like, "What are you guys doing?" We're like, "Oh, we're tenderizing the meat." You guys look like you're preparing for a fight.
What is it, the Fight Club of chefs?
Yeah, underground chef fight club.
There you go, underground chefs. Man, but you've had a lot of jobs in the food industry.
Yeah,
You went from work. Yeah, I mean, all before you started the meal prepping, because now you're working for yourself and that's it, right? Like you've been doing this for the last 2 years, 3 years.
On my own,
on
yeah,
yeah,
on my own,
but
yeah.
So before do you feel like all that stuff was just like special training for you to like where you're at now?
Yeah, definitely.
So none of it you don't.
I still feel like I'm in training.
Well, like you said, your chef's coat's always training, right?
Yeah,
that's why you have your name on it, which I never knew about that.
Yeah.
I until you said it, and I was like, wait a second, I'm gonna start observing. I'm gonna start looking if there's a chef that doesn't have his name, that means he doesn't take his job serious. Is that what you're saying?
Maybe.
No, that's pretty cool. But
yeah, but most chefs like that are suited up and wear their name tag. Yeah. Like it's just like being part of the army. Like you're an example of everyone that works with you. You're never above anybody. You work as a team.
Yeah.
And that's what I love being a chef, because even though I'm in charge, I'm still equal. Like I'm able to treat everyone equally. Even though I'm trained to be above, but I
think
never
it's okay
take
to say
it that
you're
way.
superior.
Oh, superior. There you go.
You're superior.
I was looking for the word.
Yeah. Have you had any setbacks or any kind of like let's just say male cooks or chefs that or women that are like, wait a second, who's this person right here coming in here trying to tell me what to do? You know what I mean? Have you had that?
Actually, yeah. When I first became a chef at Manor Beach and Dana Point, the resort there, they had issued me as one of the executive chefs, and they're like, okay, you think you can handle this? And I'm like, yeah, sure. So they gave me my team, and it was all macho, like
probably like bunch
Latinos,
of paisas.
Bunch of paisas. And they're like staring at me, and they're like looking at me like, oh, mira este güera, and I'm like listening to them, and I'm like, okay.
Oh, they thought you were güera.
Yeah, because I'm in my white suit. They don't see my hair. Like I have my chef hat, and I'm just quiet when I come in. So I'm looking at everyone. They're talking smack. Like they literally talk smack about everyone. So
I can imagine the stuff that they were saying.
Yeah, and then I'm a woman, and they're like, "Oh, what's this?" And they're like, "What is this girl gonna tell us?" And I'm just listening, and then I all of a sudden I respond to them in Spanish, and they're like, "Oh, dang, like, oh, hablas español?" I'm like, "Yeah, claro que sí." Like, now get to work.
You're like, nomás estamos bromeando, no te creas. You know, like, is that...
Yeah,
así nos llevamos.
Yeah, and it was hard because for maybe a few months they gave me a really hard time because we have like these big pots that we have to carry, and we do at that time I was bâtonnet chef, which is like you handle the brunch, like you're doing like a big crowd, like maybe 2,000 people or plus. And we had to do like racks and racks of prime rib, and the prime ribs are like this big. And then we're doing red snappers that are this long, and then like they're supposed to be helping me out, and I'm like short and little, so I'm trying to carry these things and I'm struggling, and I'm like, they should be helping me, and they really like put me to the test. So I had to earn their respect.
Do you remember do you recall that moment when you did earn their respect? Yeah,
I think it was I don't know if it was because a new person came in, but I had a new prep cook, and he wasn't Latino. But
so he knew his place.
Yeah, so he didn't know Spanish at all, so they called him Ed Black.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So I couldn't help. I had to I was like trying not to laugh.
You're like, do I call human resource at this point?
Yeah, I'm like, I'm supposed to say something to them, and I'm like, oh, that's not nice. Like, I want to be like, oh, that's not nice, but I'm like, I'm sure he knows what you guys are saying.
Of course.
And they're saying it, and he's standing on the next like prep table, and I was like, you guys shouldn't say that. And they're just laughing and they're like, "Ay, chef, nomás estamos rodeando."
Bromeando, yeah.
I'm like, all right. So then after that, like every time I would see them, I would laugh. I'm like, you guys need to stop.
Yeah.
So they eventually stopped. But then we started talking and they started asking questions. And they were like, well, what makes being a chef different than us? Like, what do you do that I don't already know what to do? Like, I'm cooking.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're cooking, obviously. And I was like, yeah, but do you guys know how to cook, but you don't know the recipes and you don't know how to plate. Do you know how to plate this? You're plating, you have to ask me how I want the presentation to be. So you need someone to lead you in what order to do things.
Yeah.
And there's a technique to it, and and they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, you had to set them straight. That's when you tell them, like, I create and you do.
Yeah. So
in layman's terms, I create and you do.
Yeah. I tell you, like, I don't tell you what to do, but I tell you what to do.
In a nice way, I'm telling you what to do. No, but it's true though, right? Like, I mean, that's what it is. Like you come in there, there has to be an executive chef. I interviewed Eric Moreno. He's an executive chef for Rock and Brews, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, he same thing. Like, he goes and he creates the menu. Mm-hmm. And he, exactly like you said, you gotta, this is how we're gonna plate it, and that's because presentation is key. It's most people that are drunk drinking won't know the difference, but there's a lot of people that do.
Definitely. Right? And we eat with our eyes, so if it's not presented
with all your senses, right?
Yeah. And that's one major sense. Like, of course we smell, and we with our eyes as well. Yeah. And then it hits your mouth, your taste buds, and then you have your after bite, which is like down your throat. Mm-hmm. So you're still getting flavors. Because, I mean, if you're getting something that has vinegar in it and it burns when it goes down your throat, then like, oh, this is too much. The vinegar is overpowering the other ingredients.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a lot of experience, like we're talking about, that you get working for a restaurant for someone else, right?
Yeah.
Talk to me about that transition to where you're like, let me start meal prepping. I'm sure you're doing that like part-time while you're working for someone.
Yeah.
And then at what point where you're like, all right, I think I could do this on my own, like full-time as chef and queen.
Yeah.
When did that happen for you?
So that happened when people, like, I would do outside events aside from the resort. I would get people that would ask me for my number. Oh, do you do parties? Do you do events?
Like for catering or whatever?
Yeah, for catering. So I started doing like my side hustle, and just kind of exploring like whatever I create on my own, and just kind of doing my own menu.
Yeah.
And I had a couple people hire me like in Brentwood, and they're like, oh, can you meal prep for me? And then I would meal prep for their animals too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So not only for the humans, I was meal prepping for the dogs too, because their family.
You have to start a pet food service.
You know what?
Don't tell me you're.
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah. Nobody knows that.
Is this another exclusive?
Yes. So that's something, they just told me 2 weeks ago, chewy.com, I'm going to do food on there. So,
really? Chewy?
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah. And
Dang.
yeah. So the same thing, like my ingredients that I use that help heal gut health and everything.
Yeah.
I also do an ingredient that helps animals.
Yeah.
So,
oh my God.
Yeah. So Mondeezy, I did some treats for his dog, and his dog went crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, we're gonna have to get a
Penny the Beagle.
Is that
yeah. Yeah.
Oh man.
She approved
she Penny or Penny?
Penny.
Penny, yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to get you're gonna have to get a testimonial on that.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get her on here. Yeah. She's gonna be barking. So you're doing the meal preps for some of them and their pets, and then So there's one pet that I've been trying out in her food.
Mm-hmm.
Like this dog actually broke her hip. So the food and the water that I'm doing, because I'm coming out with my own water as well.
Oh, right.
And it benefits the animals as well, because it heals them.
Mm-hmm.
So this dog, like, she broke her hip, and now her bones are starting to heal. She's like, before she couldn't get up or anything. Now she's able to get up, and she's able to like kind of walk a little bit more straight, but she's still healing. But the family's like, she's always laying down. So
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
surprised to see her actually
Wow.
getting up.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I've heard like some amazing stories of people like that suffered cancer,
Yeah.
autism,
Yes.
and they changed their diet,
Mhm.
and they see like changes like almost right away.
Yeah.
Just by changing your diet.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
I mean,
'Cause it's like,
it makes sense because
yeah.
it's healthy.
Yeah, it's healthy. And then we don't realize that, like, with us changing what we eat or diet, like, like I was telling somebody earlier today, like, if it's not just the food we eat, like, yeah, we can eat like a steak, and certain places you eat, like, how some people are like, oh, I get organic meat,
Right.
or I get this, like, yeah, I still get organic meat, but it all relates to the source of where everything comes from
Yeah.
our food, from our meat. It all comes from water.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it's important to know how those things are being filtrated and cleansed and utilized.
Mm-hmm.
And even our own drinking water, because it's crazy how, like, you go to Costco and you're getting bottled water and you're thinking, oh, it's clean water.
Right.
But if you really look into it, like, it just passes the bar for the government. But the government isn't going to say, oh, it's completely filtrated. So, yeah, which is why, like, I've been doing my research on water, and there's quite a bit of companies I checked out. And there's one that I really have connected with, and I'm actually going to put my own bottled water out there.
Oh, really?
And yeah.
So on top
Another
of the juices and everything,
exclusive.
it's going to be a water?
Yeah.
A special, medical grade water?
Yes. And this water,
Yeah.
it passes through, if you go out and fly, it passes through the TSA.
Oh, wait, other waters won't?
No.
Oh,
So
that's
the
right. That's why they
TSA
make you dump it out.
Yeah.
And
so
TSA
they won't
will
let
pass that one?
Yeah.
As long as it's
Yeah, they
closed,
test
sealed.
it. So they'll test it, and it'll pass.
Yeah?
And they'll allow you to take it on the plane.
That's a trip.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, and this water is crazy. Like, it has electrolytes. I use it to clean my produce, my meats also. I did like a strawberry drink for someone today, and I soaked the strawberries in, and I before that, like, I have a solution that cleans everything off.
Mhm.
But I did it with the water, the new water I have now. And I kid you not, all the, like, pesticides, it looked like worms leaving the, like.
Stop.
Yes.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
we should have recorded that.
I'm actually gonna upload it.
Okay, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
you did record it.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it'll be on my page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, and it's crazy because it's like, okay, I'm using the my water solution that supposedly cleans it,
Yeah.
and it does. You can see it gets some of the dirt off.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I put in this water and it has no solution, like, it naturally, like, you see everything leaving.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, wow.
Can that water, I'm thinking, like, is they're gonna drink it and it's gonna cleanse out their system, no?
Yeah. So yeah,
that what
that's a good thing
okay.
about it, because this water is healing. It helps. It decreases inflammation. Any inflammation you have, of course, people that are diabetic. The reason why they're diabetic is because of certain areas in their body has inflammation. So this actually heals that, and it heals your gut. It clears out brain fog. So it's hydrating you. It has electrolytes. Yeah. And man, this stuff does, like, I've never seen a water that does this. Like, if we had this, I think there'd be a lot of people that live longer.
But the benefits are gonna outweigh anything.
And you're gonna feel it. Like, naturally, this stuff cleans out your colon. I'm kid you not.
Yeah. Yeah,
I've been taking it, like, my sister has, and it's like the stuff that has been coming out. I'm like, wow, I've never seen that. Like, I'm like, where is this coming from?
This is right here where I'm gonna post a little video of her. Not just kidding. I'm not gonna post that video.
Smiling like.
Wow. No, but yeah. I mean.
Yeah.
That'll lead us right into your juices, right? So are you using that water in your juices right now?
I'm using it to cleanse out the fruits I have. I'm using it in my coffee. So not only does my juices have, like, vitamins, minerals that help fight against cancer, dementia, Alzheimer's, gives you energy. the water's doing it as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you're getting double
Yeah.
action of that
Wow.
benefit.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah. Actually, my herbalist that I work with, his mom had cancer.
Yeah.
And she had, I believe it was like 6 lumps in her left boob. And she's already like 84. And she went to the doctor, and they were like, well, we can't do surgery. You're already of age, but we can try chemo.
Mm-hmm.
So they were giving her, I think she had to wait a little bit for them to start doing chemo. And during that time while she was waiting, she was like, well, I'm going to try these juices out. So we told her, yeah, try them out. Let's put the juice to the test.
Yeah.
So she drank it for about 4 months. And as she was doing that, it kept her strong, and she went to get tested again and to see like where she was at with the cancer, what stage. And the doctor was like amazed, because he's like, I don't know what happened or what has changed in your body, but I can't detect any cancer anymore.
Wow.
He's like, it's gone. Like, you're cancer free. We don't even need to do like chemo on you anymore. And she just like, she was amazed. Like, she couldn't believe it.
Nah.
Yeah.
Jeez. That's like those are super juice.
Super juices. Yes.
And coffee.
Yeah.
Oh my
and
gosh.
like I don't know if you heard the story, but like I created these juices like after, like, once the pandemic started. My sister had a brain tumor.
Right, you did talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so she had a brain tumor in her pituitary gland, and what was supposed to be an in and out surgery ended up 30 days, 4 surgeries later. When she came home, she was completely blind, overweight, depressed, and she developed diabetes, and they're gonna put her on insulin.
Wow.
So the doctor, she went first for her vision, because she came home not able to see
at all. She couldn't see.
Yeah. And
Blind.
I thought she was kidding. I was like, are you sure you can't see? She's like, I can't see, it's dark. And I'm like, if there's light, you can't see the light? Like, she's like, no. And she was frustrated. So my mom had to bathe her. She had to dress her, because she couldn't find anything. Like, it was pretty scary. Like,
wow.
And it kind of, like, in all honesty, like, it did bother me, because I'm like, that's my sister. Like, I don't want her to have to go through something like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for me, it's like, I'm the oldest we're 4 girls.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just me, my sisters, and my mom.
Yeah.
My dad lives in another state, but we're still close.
Yeah.
But
he's cool, just in another state.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So so it's like anything that happens to him, like, I feel like I'm in charge. Like, I need to protect them.
Like you're the dad. You're the oldest, right? Oldest of 4.
Yeah. So I need to, like, make sure that they don't suffer. I'd rather suffer than them.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like, to see her go through something like that and crying. It's like, she's like the third after. It's me, another sister, and then she's the third one. So she's like close to, like, the baby sister.
Yeah.
And it's like, for me to see her that way, it's like, I don't, it really bothered me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I need to really study figure something out. And I'm like, it has to be with her diet. So I started working with herbalists, working with doctors, and that's how I created the juices. And she tried the juices for like 3 close to 4 months, and she started getting her vision back. And she couldn't believe it. She's like, I could see you. Like, I was like, really? You could see me now? Like, I was like, how many fingers I have? And she's like, I can really see you. So then I was like, okay, let's put it to the test. So she had an iPad, and I go, well, let's exercise your eyes and see if you could really see.
Oh, yeah.
So I got her one of those pins for the iPad. She started drawing, and she actually created my logo.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, that night?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so she created my logo, and I don't think I'll ever change it.
Oh, no, it's pretty cool. I like the logo.
I'm like, wow, I really like it.
She must have been thinking about that the whole time, though, right?
Yeah. So I'm like, you must have came up with some power senses that, because it's like, now she's like for that whole time, like she wasn't able to see, but her other sense, she said, her other senses were able to tap in.
Right.
And she, I started creating her meal preps and her juices, and she was like, "Wow, you use this, and that," and I was like, "What?"
Dang.
I was like, "How did you know?" Like,
she's got those spidey senses now.
yeah. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to hire her on the team.
Is she on your team?
Yeah. Part-time.
Part-time. I like the pause.
Yeah.
The pause and then part-time.
I'm a pretty tough chef.
Yeah, we've heard. No. No. But so
I can
then,
be a Ramsey.
well,
not as bad, but
you're getting there, right?
Yeah.
I know you got the video and the TV going on, so
Yeah.
we're getting there. It's all
Pretty
steps.
close.
Next thing you know, we're gonna see freaking the same thing. What is it? What's the name of his show? It's called
Master Chef.
Is it called Master Chef? Yeah.
I think so.
All right.
And he has another one now, Iron Chef.
Iron Chef. Yeah. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that happened, and and then she had to go testing again because they were gonna put her on insulin. So when she went to go get her test for that, well, she realized she lost a lot of weight because she was weighing 349,
mm-hmm.
and then now she weighs 100 and I think 167.
From 349 to 167.
Yeah.
It's almost 200 pounds.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. So she
and that's all
lost a
from
lot.
changing her diet.
Yeah, changing her diet.
What about exercise? Was she exercising? Walking?
Not as much.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she was kind of doing a little bit, but not as much.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, mainly, I mean, it was mainly the food because keep in mind, like for 3 months, she wasn't able to see. So yeah.
Wow.
And she was just on food and drinks, and like she couldn't, like, to hear her say, "Oh, I can see again," like, and the doctor's telling her, "You're legally blind. You're never gonna see again."
They told her she was legally blind?
Yeah.
Dang.
They said, "You're legally blind. You need to figure something out, or go to the Braille Institute and figure out how to live life like this now."
Wow, just like that. Giving up already.
Giving up, like, that's it. And she was crying. She became depressed. And actually, these drinks help you with being depressed. She developed a lot of hormonal imbalance, so this helped her a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was sad because for those 3 months she was in bed, and it was like I'm like, no way, like I cannot see her like in bed, like doing nothing. Like, how are you gonna be in bed all day, like not doing anything? You need to wake up.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, when she was going through her thing, like us as a family had to fight with, like, help her get up and fight that. Like,
motivate each other to do it.
Yeah, definitely.
So this was a creation from just it's a necessity. Like, I have to do this for my sister.
Yeah, that's what it developed into.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like, oh, I'm gonna do this for fun. No, it was like a necessity, like, to help her, like, and it. Yeah, and then like I said, she went to get her testing for diabetes, and they were gonna get her on insulin, and she came home crying, and I'm like, well, what happened now? I'm thinking the worst because she's crying, and she's like, gave me a big hug, and she's like, you saved my life. And I was like, oh man, don't say that because you're gonna make me cry, and I'm the tough one, and I don't cry in front of nobody. So I'm like, okay. Wow. I'm like, well, that's good.
Trying to play it off.
Yeah, I'm like, that's good. Like,
but you really did. You saved her life.
Yeah. And it's like these, and oh man, there's so many stories, like, for so many people that have benefited from these drinks. It's like goes beyond my sister. And
you're still getting that stuff to this day.
Yes, I get so, and I mean, it also has an ingredient that boosts your libido. So there's been like 3 customers of mine that ended up pregnant.
Yeah. Because I know someone that was like, trying and they just couldn't, until they they went the science way, and they finally did. But I mean, so just with this juice, they probably could have.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard of I think with Rihanna, they went to somebody that had something similar, and that's how she got pregnant.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Would you say? I mean, obviously, it's not holistic, it's science.
Yeah,
this is something that is,
and it's herbal, like it's all natural stuff, and it's like, and it makes me go back to like this is basically ingredients that my my great grandparents like took in their days,
Mm-hmm.
and we wonder why they lived so long because they were aware of like cooking
Mm-hmm.
and of diet.
Yeah, the benefits of eating well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like we kind of like if it's kind of like we got cheated.
Yeah,
because it didn't go down all the way
yeah.
to us. Like,
We'll keep the conspiracies out of it because I know that people
Yeah.
can go on and on about
Oh, yeah.
about the government pushing all this bad food on us, right?
Yeah,
Because they want to do that to us.
but it's
But
us
it
too.
is-
Like
it is-
we have to
yeah,
be aware.
Yeah, we don't have to eat McDonald's every day.
No.
Every once in a while, treat yourself to McDonald's. But you don't have to eat it every day.
Yeah.
Like it's good to eat well. And I know, like,
I mean, we're bound to like slip every once in a while.
Right.
We're human.
Yeah.
Like we smell it, we want it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that's a sense.
Right.
Like, but I mean, as long as we can go back to something that'll flush us out of that, at least we have those alternatives.
okay. So these aren't all the juices that you have. You have way more, right?
Yeah, so I have mango Jamaica with beets, raspberry, apple, and I have another one I'm coming out with.
A secret one, another one?
Yeah, secret.
Are we going to get the exclusive or are we going to hold off
There's
on that
gonna
one?
be actually 2 more
Oh my
because
God.
they asked me to create another flavor.
Yeah. So you're creating these drinks for certain people, right? That's why, again, I
Yeah.
say the celebrity,
So
the
the
chef
new
for the
one,
celebrities.
yeah, the new ones are like signature drinks.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm launching these drinks in May.
Okay.
And we're gonna be out in Whole Foods, Lazy Acres, Northgate, Superior.
Wow.
I'm working with Costco too to get them out there.
Dang.
So those
So
of
these-
you that
these-
want to buy bulk,
These going to be all... Because they're going to be available in bulk? Nice.
yeah,
So these going to be all with the labels, the FDA labels like you talked about. They're going to be
Yes.
ready to go for retail. I mean, they're available for retail now, but
yeah,
as far as like in store, right?
yes.
So those signature drinks, are we doing any sneak peeks or anything?
Yeah.
Any teasers? Or are we not? Or not until May?
We can actually do a teaser.
How about we play a game with a teaser? Well, you could describe or give 3 clues as to what that celebrity or individual does for a living. Would you do that?
Yeah, sure.
Let's do that. Well, what's the first one then?
One's on the radio.
One's on the radio. That's the key. Is it Southern California radio? SoCal radio?
Yeah.
SoCal radio.
LA.
LA radio. There you go. Female or male?
Female.
Female, and that's it. So you guys think of it. Who could it be? All right. And the second
Yes.
one, the second drink.
Second one, she has a podcast. I'm not sure if everyone knows of her yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But she's on my stories today.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, how about okay, I think I know who we're talking about. So why don't we say comes from I think I was just spitting. I'll have to change this one for the
I
next
think
time.
you're excited.
I am excited. Let's just say this person is was a major part of a TV show. Was in a major TV show on MTV TV show.
I'm not sure she's on MTV.
No.
I don't know. Maybe.
Oh no, I'm thinking about someone else.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
thinking about someone else. Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. Well, we'll leave it. We'll just leave that one as is. We won't. Stay tuned.
Well, there's actually 3.
Oh,
so
there's
there's
3.
2 on the radio.
Okay.
2 people on
2
the
on
radio.
the radio.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you guys make sure you guys are going to follow Chef to find out the details in May. So,
Yeah.
but that'll be interesting. Just that alone. But
Yeah. The other one is old school.
old school.
Yeah.
All right.
One's newer old, and the other one's really old school.
All right. So both radio, one old school, one new school.
Yes.
LA radio.
Yes.
All right. That should pretty much narrow it down. If you guys go to her page and follow and see who she's posting about, there.
Yeah.
Hint.
They'll
Clue,
be on
clue.
my page. Definitely.
So I know you have so much going on. We're getting
Yes.
close to the end to wrap this up. With everything that you've done here, the meal prep, I mean, from working at all these restaurants, you went to culinary school, you got all that done. Your meal preps, your juices, full circle. now are we gonna open up your own brick and mortar restaurant?
Yes.
You are.
Yes. So there's actually
Talk
2
about it.
restaurants I want
Two.
to open.
Okay.
But the first one that is already like the first one that's coming out is just gonna be it's gonna be breakfast in the morning and then food towards the evening
Mm-hmm.
and after hours
Hours.
restaurant. That's what
Okay.
we're calling it.
Yeah.
So we're doing a grand opening. I'm actually taking over a family member's restaurant.
Okay.
Because he's like, it's time for you to have your restaurant. He had to convince me, but I'm like, okay, it's time.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's in Long Beach, so
Oh, that's where you
my
grew up. That's your
hometown.
hometown. Yeah. And that's pretty awesome.
So I'm like, okay, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, it's my hometown, and yeah, I should start here first.
Nice.
Born and raised.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So
When is that launching?
That's gonna be May 9th.
May 9th?
Yeah.
That's next month. That's a month away.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So we decided to put that out there.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're gonna start there first and eventually branch out. And yeah, hopefully it grows. I mean, it is gonna grow.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just gonna be my first little niche thing, because the
ultimate goal.
my ultimate goal is to open a drive-through meal prep.
Drive-through meal prep.
Yeah.
But is this meal prep gonna be like fresh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fresh. So there'll be a menu where you can pick your meal preps, and then you can get your juices for like pre-workouts.
Mm-hmm.
And me going to the gym, I'm always like, I'm tired as it is. I got to motivate myself to go work out.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I got to get off to get the things I need and prep them. And it's like, why can't there be something that benefits? And then to actually have something like for moms and dads that, you can go drive through and you don't have to get off.
Mm-hmm.
And, with all the kids.
Nobody wants to get the kids out of the car. Let's
No
be honest.
way.
Let's be honest, okay? It's like it's a hassle where we go, oh, but I gotta get them out of the car.
Yeah, and it's
I mean,
like,
some of them are asleep, but for the most part, it's like I gotta get them out, then I gotta get them in, and that's a challenge on its own.
Yes,
it is. Yeah.
So I'm just like, you know what? There should be a meal prep company. There's so many like drive-throughs like with fast food, and it's like, why don't we have that? So I think that's something big, something different that that is going to help us reach our goals and stay healthy.
Yeah. I think that's where, because as you know, there's so many people out there meal prepping right now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So many, right? I mean, you choose, right? You can go for cost effective or you can go for taste.
Yes.
It's up to you, right? Whatever suits your means.
Definitely.
But, I think why it's worked and it's so successful is because the timing for me to make my own juice, it takes me forever, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know why. Maybe the process of what I'm doing it, or I'm doing it in my kitchen. I'm doing it after I've already done a million things, and then I still got to do that.
Yes.
So it's just the benefit of just having to hey, can I get 8 of those things?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that the convenience of that because of timing.
Yes.
That's why I think meal prepping and juicing like that has been so successful.
Yeah.
And it still will be, and it'll remain for sure.
Yeah. And then there'll be, I know a lot of meal prep companies, they have like basic, like there's people that, don't add seasoning, don't add this, leave it dry. But I think when you add chili to it or something, you need something like that to wake the furnace of your gut so that way it can start functioning properly. And like I said, I don't use salt in my food or sugar, so just having those natural ingredients and still being able to enjoy your food, like I think that's a plus.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah. And then I think I know I didn't give my testimonial on air or anything like that. I haven't, but I know. So if you guys out there watching, I ordered some and I got 8 of those coffees.
Yeah.
So I didn't drink coffee in the morning. I didn't drink my energy drinks that I drink midday. Mm-hmm. It was just that coffee drink that I had there, and I felt really good.
Yeah.
I mean, I ate my junk food. I did. I'm going to be honest with you. I wasn't eating clean. But the thing is that I didn't feel heavy. Like, I felt like it was good. It was cleaning me out. Like, I felt good. No, what what do you call it? Like that gut bile thing, whatever.
Yeah.
Like
gut,
I wasn't cramping up. I didn't have,
leaky gut or
yeah,
anything like
it was
that.
just, I felt really good,
Yeah.
And
that's what I like about it. Because, I mean, you look at the color and you're like, oh, there's dairy in it
Right.
or there's sugar.
Yeah.
It looks like McDonald's coffee.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, it's not. Like, you taste it and it's like, it's 1% coffee. There's the reason why it's light is because of the vitamins, the minerals.
Yeah.
It has zinc in it. And it has ginseng. So the ginseng is like lights it up. So lightens the color of it.
It does taste like coffee though.
Yeah.
It does taste like coffee.
Yeah.
And it wakes you up like it. And I mean, it does all the effects that coffee does. So
definitely.
Kudos to you on that.
Yeah. And then you don't get without the crash.
Yeah. Right. And this is a fairly new product, isn't it?
Yeah. Nowhere has it.
Nobody has it.
I
yet?
guarantee go anywhere, nobody has this coffee.
That's a challenge, my friends. That's a challenge.
I like
do you guys accept or not?
Yeah. Show me a coffee that is not mine that is like does the same as mine.
Yeah. Wow.
You're not gonna find it.
So you're a very, very busy woman. You're doing so much. You're nonstop.
Yes.
You have the radio show, the LA Radio 1. We didn't even talk about that, did we?
No, we
didn't even talk about that. Jesus Christ. This is a weekly show that you do. Yeah. Give us a little insight on that.
So I got appointed with LA Radio, and it's something that I've been talking about for 2 years to be a part of.
Yeah.
And it finally is happening now.
Wow.
So everything has its timing. So I mean, I'm excited to be a part of that team and being able to cook and share my juices and make people aware of, the way we cook and what we intake into our bodies. Not only that, I'm going to have a special guest on this Monday coming. So I'm having Rubiana Fernandez.
Oh, nice.
She sings. She's been singing since she was 4 years old.
Yeah.
So I met her during how I got my name was like I used to cater for the pageant girls. So the ones that were in competition.
Oh, okay.
And Rubiana just happened to be there. And
competing or?
Well, she wasn't competing. It was actually for a boutique.
Oh, okay.
Noelle's boutique. And my friend, she would always invite me to come feed the pageant girls. So I was their favorite person.
Yeah.
I would show up and they're like, oh, my chef and queen was here. Is here with my food. Yeah. So that's how I got the name.
So the girls gave you your name?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, my friend's like, why don't you just call yourself Chef and Queen? Everybody calls you that.
Yeah.
So everyone's like, oh, my queen, my queen. So I'm like, okay.
Nice.
Yeah. So I met her there. She was modeling and she's like, I love your food. And I was like, okay. So we just kind of kept in touch and I take her food and now drinks.
Nice.
So
that's gonna be your first guest?
Yeah, she's gonna be my very first guest, and she's really awesome. Like I said, she's been singing since she's like 4 years old. Wow. Yeah, so she's everywhere. And
so is that gonna be available only on streaming, or can they watch it after the fact? Like they can watch the.
We'll stream live on. We stream live every Mondays on LA Radio. LARadio1.com. And then you can also find.
Is it one the number one, or is it spelled out?
Number one.
Oh, okay, number one.
Yeah, and then on Spotify.
On Spotify.
Yeah.
All right.
So you can hear us on there. And then afterwards they put it on YouTube.
Oh, they do. Okay, so it'll be on YouTube available. Everyone can watch it after.
Amazon.
Yeah.
Roku.
Yeah. You're on Roku too?
Yeah, Roku.
Dang, you're all over the place. See, this is why these are the steps to becoming your Ramsay. Your Gordon Ramsay.
We're getting there.
You're getting there.
And Network actually hit me up. So
which network?
It's a brand new I haven't got the name yet. It's a brand new talk show.
Okay.
So they're gonna they want me to be a chef on there.
Oh yeah. So
I'll be on a new show.
That's that's residency, huh?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. We're just talking about residency.
Yeah. So I'm getting closer.
Look, you're continuing to do amazing things and you haven't stopped.
Yeah.
It's like things that happen to you in life have led you to the next step and the next step and the next step, and you're someone that is getting after, and you're taking it. You're like, there's so many people that miss out on opportunities because they're afraid. They don't.
Yes.
They're not willing to take that risk.
Mm-hmm.
And you're out there, you're doing it.
Yeah, and I think since I became a chef, like I was always offered those opportunities. And I kid you not, like if we were talking like way back then,
Mm-hmm.
I think the first time I was interviewed with Channel 2 News, and that was like it was bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
No, I
deals?
was like literally making like I had to prep for my dessert table, and I was so angry that day because my chef, well, I'm the sous chef, so the main chef, somebody like my dessert team messed up.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't get yelled at. I get yelled at because I'm in charge.
Yeah.
So that day I got like my butt chewed out.
Yeah.
And I was so angry, and I was red.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, we're gonna interview you, chef. Like, are you ready?" And I'm like mixing, and I'm so red.
Yeah.
And then now I'm getting nervous. Not only am I red because I'm angry, like, but I'm still smiling. And then they're like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yes." And they're asking me questions, and I kid you not, I almost fainted.
Really? Oh my god!
I was so overwhelmed, like, and then just being nervous.
Yeah.
And I told my chef, "Don't ever do that to me again.
Jeez.
Like, I don't want to get interviewed." And now here I am.
This is just one of many that you've done already.
Yes.
You've done so many.
Yes.
You know, you're like an expert.
Yeah.
And now you're interviewing. You're going to be doing the interviewing on Monday.
Yeah.
So
nobody knows about that.
Yeah. Talk
another exclusive.
Well, the thing is that this episode will air after the fact, but yes, they can watch it after the fact.
Yes.
Man.
So now I'll be on red carpets interviewing for LA radio.
Yeah.
So I'll be out in LA interviewing singers and things like that.
That's crazy.
So
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Imagine it's the opportunities, you know, you're not letting them go by you. You're taking them, and let's see where it takes me, you know?
Yes.
I admire that.
I was actually on Juanito Milosuke's red carpet a week ago. Yeah, Milosuke.
Yeah.
He's amazing. I really love him. Yeah, because he's like, he doesn't care.
Yeah.
He's just himself.
You have to be.
Yes.
No matter what. You have to be yourself.
Yeah, and he's so humble. Like, I mean, he gave me his number, so now I'm like, okay, you have an event, I'm there. Like, you know, that's how cool he is. And,
that's cool.
You know, I really appreciate that. And I think the people that are coming up, that's key. Like, I think you get blessed. You receive more blessings when you're humble. So,
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I say this so many times on these podcasts, is I say, because, you know, I've heard it so many times. It's be nice to the people on your way up, because they're going to be there on your way down.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's so true.
Yeah.
You know, I've heard that many times. I've heard people sit here on that chair, and they tell me the same thing. And I've just heard it so many times, and it's so true. Like, it's been confirmed time and time again, you know?
Yeah.
So that's factual right there for sure.
Definitely. Yeah. Even me, when I was like becoming a chef, like they always tell us, be humble and be nice to everyone you work with, because, you know, you never know when you're going to need them. Even including the custodian. Yeah. Because you could probably throw away an important document, and you're like going crazy, like, damn it, I dropped that. And you're going to need them to dig it out the trash for you.
Exactly.
and not too many people want to do that.
No. So that's the key. Be nice to everybody.
Yes. Kindness is
and
is
it
key.
seems like it's really easy for you though. So like, again, with your positive energy, it's so easy. So But I want to thank you again for coming on. It's been awesome. Thanks for sharing your story, giving me all the exclusives.
Yes.
It was fun. But you guys, make sure you check out Chef and Queen. You're on Twitter, you're on TikTok, you're
Twitter,
on everything, on
TikTok,
all of those things.
All platforms.
Snap. All right. I'm gonna put all that stuff on the show notes, so make sure you guys check it out on the show notes.
Yes.
So you guys can follow Chef and Queen, see what she's doing. Check out all the other exclusives, because she's making 3 special drinks.
Yes.
And they're all specially designed or created for somebody. So
yeah,
you guys make sure you check them out.
Yeah. So these drinks are big. Like, I even have other companies. Like I don't really want to say it, but yeah,
Right.
I talked to Nike like a few times. So
Nike? The
yeah,
swoosh?
yeah, that's
What?
so
Dang.
yeah, so
Well, sometimes you got to say it out and speak it out to existence,
yeah,
right? You got to
you're
manifest
right.
it. So,
Yeah, because it will happen.
yeah,
Yeah, that's big.
damn. Well, congratulations,
Yeah.
man. I wish you the
So if you
best.
get with Nike, you're good.
Yeah, hell yeah. Nike's a huge brand. What are you talking about? Yeah, it's huge.
So I'm looking to go worldwide with
Yeah.
this.
Oh no, you will.
Yeah.
Yeah, you will. Definitely. Just remember us young bucks over here.
Oh yeah.
Our lonely guys over here. No, yeah. Thanks again very much. And anything you want to plug before we leave?
Just tune in to www.laradio1.com.
There you go.
And yeah, I look forward to seeing you guys there.
All right. Well, there you have it. Chef and Queen. Also, Chef and Queen is going to be your legal name. You're going to change it.
Yes.
Okay. She's going to be Chef and Queen, a.k.a. Vanessa Bejarano. I like that. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You take care. Thanks for the drinks. And we'll see you guys next week. Adios.
Bye.